The latest data on cases of HIV/AIDS in the Bahamas is in. We hear from health officials as populations across the globe seek to reach the goal of 0 new HIV infections. Also, debate has been wrapped up on 2 land ownership bills that are expected, once enacted, to create a level playing field with land adjudication. And Charles Fisher is continuing his exploration of the mysteries and culture Andros has to offer. Tonight, we head over to Low Sound. The Bahamas Tonight at 11 starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. Numbers don't lie, and while today's reveal of new HIV/AIDS cases are sure to raise both eyebrows and conversation, officials are hoping these stats also raise the public's focus and commitment to 0 new cases. Corvell Pyfram leads us off tonight at 11.
These are the latest figures from the Bahamas that will be included in an upcoming UN global report on incidence of HIV and AIDS.
In the year 2024, we had 156 newly reported HIV infections.
Head of the Ministry of Health's National HIV, AIDS, and Infectious Diseases Program, Dr. Nakia Forbes, revealing Thursday that at the end of last year, an estimated 3,988 persons were living with HIV, accounting for 1.1% of the population.
Age group 30 to 39 years of age accounted for 36% of the infections. And this was followed by the age group 40 to 49 years of age at 19%, and then those over 50 were the third highest age group affected at 17%.
No longer feared as the painful, shameful death sentence it once was, HIV care has advanced tremendously, from diagnosis to treatment to quality of life. But even with all the strides and gains, health officials caution now's not the time to lose focus.
In the age group 15 to 24 years of age, there were 22 persons reported to be newly diagnosed with HIV in the year 2024, and that accounted for 14% of new HIV infections in that year. When we consider, okay, in the last year or two, we've started to see a steady increase in some infections, all right? So from 122 cases in 2021 in the COVID years to 156, well, that is an increase, isn't it?
Going forward, officials say more emphasis is needed on education, getting the message into schools for safer sexual and behavioral practices. Health Minister Dr. Michael Darville acknowledges shortcomings, but says his administration is committed.
With funding from the government, the Bahamas is noticing a decrease in the incidence of HIV cases from 2010 to 2024.
And officials are at least hopeful that the country appears to be headed in the right direction. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pyfram.
Over in the House of Assembly, policymakers managed to wrap up debate on 2 land ownership bills last evening. The Davis administration says the Registered Land Bill and the Land Adjudication Bill will pave the way for creating a central land registry with the ability to transparently track the dealings in addition to enabling more land use activities. Housing and Urban Renewal Minister, the Carmichael Road MP, Keith Bell, and Nassau Village MP, Jamal Strawn, praised the bills as creating a level playing field and beginning to rewrite generations-long disenfranchisement.
With the Land Adjudication Bill and the Registered Land Bill, we are putting an end to chaos, the confusion, and the constant fear that one document, one missing deed, or one court ruling could strip a family of the land they thought was theirs. We are replacing uncertainty with certainty. We are replacing conflict with clarity, and we are replacing frustration with peace.
This will allow those who are entitled, no matter their socioeconomic circumstances, whether they have big money or whether they have small money, Madam Speaker, to confidently stake their claim.
Bills seem to be widely supported. During his contribution last evening, opposition leader Michael Pintard expressed some concern about the way the potential new pieces of legislation are enacted.
The people must be able to trust the stakeholders, the government officials, who will preside over the implementation of the bills. Because what you would have heard from us is that
while the legislation is important, potentially transformative, if you do not implement it properly, there can be unintended and bad consequences.
At this point, it's only being floated that the boundaries may change ahead of the next general election, and of course, this to reflect the growth in population in recent years, particularly here in New Providence, where Killarney is one of two of the largest constituencies, pegged at more than 7,000 registered voters. Should the area be split, its sitting MP, former Prime Minister, the Most Honourable Dr. Hubert Minnis, has no worries.
Killarney has a large voting bloc, and yes, I think splitting Killarney in two is a viable option. However they split it, I will win. Capital I, will, capital W-I-L-L, win, W-I-N.
Minnis, who was responding to reporters on his way into the House of Assembly Wednesday, also weighed in on Prime Minister, the Honourable Philip Davis's recent disclosure that while his government promised campaign finance reform, the public will not see that now.
Don't you think the law needs to be changed where political parties receive some degree of subsidy from government? Don't you think we should reach a point where we define what is a political organization? What percentage of votes they must obtain? How many seats they must have in Parliament? Once they meet these requirements, then they are viable. And therefore they are entitled, and I'm just picking a figure, they are entitled to, let's say, $250,000 subsidy per year. That subsidy is utilized to pay the staff, etc., and for them to establish an in-house library museum with the history of their political organization.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has issued a stark travel advisory to Haiti. In fact, the advisory is to avoid all travel to that country. That's due to extreme gang violence, widespread kidnappings, political instability, and severe shortages of essential supplies there. It adds that there is a high risk of violent crime, including armed robbery, murder, and kidnapping. Other factors include frequent civil unrest, limited access to airports and borders, and natural disaster risk. Travelers are warned to avoid all areas, particularly Port-au-Prince, Artibonite, Nord-Ouest, Nice, Coup-Ouest, and border regions with the neighboring Dominican Republic. Bahamas Air operates flights between Nassau and Cape Haitian on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturdays, while the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, has extended its prohibition on U.S. commercial flights to Port-au-Prince until September. The Royal Bahamas Police Force advising the public that the video circulating on various social media platforms purportedly about a Caucasian female that was recently in police custody is being thoroughly investigated. Police affirmed that the actions displayed by police officers in the video are not reflection of the force's policies or laws. Therefore, such actions will not be tolerated, and those found culpable will be dealt with to the fullest extent of the law. As the nation marks 52 years of independence, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force held its official post-independence celebration at its Coral Harbor base this morning. That's where the Prime Minister outlined bold investments in national security and youth development, declaring the government's unwavering commitment to protect the country's sovereignty and inspire a new generation of leaders. Lyle Maycock has that story.
Prime Minister Davis declared that Together We Rise isn't just a theme, it's a mandate, announcing a comprehensive security initiative to safeguard our sovereignty and empower the next generation.
Your mandate to defend our territorial integrity, patrol our vast waters, and to provide relief in times of disaster is the shield that protects our way of life. It speaks to a fundamental truth that our strength is forged in our unity, and our progress is measured by our collective advancement.
The Prime Minister's message centered heavily on security. He announced what he calls unprecedented upgrades for the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, with investments in bases, aerial surveillance technology, new marine vessels, and a $100 million flagship offshore patrol vessel.
The Royal Bahamas Defense Force will benefit from strategic investments, including the modernization of key bases here at Coral Harbor and Inagua, upgrades to the defense fleet and specialized equipment, including aircraft refurbishments, which will improve aerial surveillance, mobility, and response time. We are now finalizing plans for a new, nearly $100 million flagship offshore patrol vessel to significantly enhance our ability to combat illegal migration and poaching. As we enter another hurricane season, these investments are not a luxury, but a necessity.
PM Davis emphasized that the government is taking a whole force approach, modernizing not only equipment, but also expanding training programs for young Bahamians through the National Youth Guard.
This initiative is personal to me. It is about giving our young people the tools, the training, and the discipline to assist our nation during emergencies while gaining job-ready skills for their own futures.
And now, according to the Prime Minister, over 250 young people have completed the program, with many now joining the police and defense forces, part of a broader national investment in security and service. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lyle Maycock.
Thanks, Lyle. Still to come, Doctors Hospital secures another accreditation. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. More news in just a moment.
Bahamas has been a nation marching for progress. We are more than sunny skies and blue seas. We are a nation filled with purpose, opportunity, and innovation. With each generation, our spirit grows stronger, our dreams brighter, with our banners waving high. Join us as we continue to pass the torch, fostering freedom, progress, opportunity, and innovation for years to come. Happy Independence, Bahamas, from Commonwealth Bank.
You've got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
Moving from just an event to a platform where businesses are formed, ideas are created, and connections are made. That's the basic premise of the Africa Export-Import Bank's annual Afri-Carib Trade and Investment Forum set for the end of the month in St. George's, Grenada. After a successful conference here in Nassau last year, the African Bank representatives are encouraging Bahamians to travel south to Grenada to establish new and even better trade connections. Altavis Munnings has this preview.
Last year's Africa Export-Import Bank's annual Afri-Caribbean Trade Investment Forum and annual general meeting here in the Bahamas literally made history, with over 3,000 delegates learning more about trade between both countries as well as enjoying our beautiful scenery. Well, this year, the African bankers want to duplicate similar numbers in Grenada, as the Trade and Investment Forum's 4th edition will be held there July 28th and 29th, following conferences in Barbados and Guyana.
We're talking about cumulative number of about $5 billion signed. You know, if you look at the 3 events that have happened so far, then that shows us that people are willing to engage and people are willing to open themselves up to partnerships that will make the whole difference. And of course, foster and deepen the relationship between Africa and the Caribbean.
The bank's acting chief operating officer for the Caribbean describes this year's conference as a supermarket of key stakeholders, covering regional governments, manufacturing, production, creatives, and the financials.
While we're discussing topical issues regarding the improvement of trade between Africa and the Caribbean, we have those who can advance on the key decisions that are made immediately. We have those who can form alliances, and if alliances are formed, we have those who can finance it, so that it's an all-inclusive package where everybody comes in and then there is something in it for everyone.
The common denominator, though, is to generate solutions to the current trade and investment challenges between Africa and the region.
There's a problem of A and C connectivity between Africa and the Caribbean, which is posing a challenge. So there'll be sessions dedicated to discussing this.
Africa Export-Import Bank officials want interested Bahamians to know that this year's Afro-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum is a movement to deepen commercial, cultural, and developmental linkages between both regions with shared heritage and mutual opportunity. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Altaviz Munnings.
Thanks, Altaviz. Marking 70 years of service to the Bahamas, Doctors Hospital is celebrating another major milestone. Its sixth consecutive accreditation from Joint Commission International, a globally recognized benchmark for healthcare quality and patient safety. At a press conference yesterday, Doctors Hospital health system executives reaffirmed their commitment to delivering world-class care and maintaining the highest international standards.
Examination of hospitals in the Bahamas requires that we pass a local exam annually. The Joint Commission International examination is extra, and it's not a requirement. It's a part of our commitment to taking our pursuit of excellence to a whole new level, and to make sure that in any discussion or argument about quality, safety, and standards, that we have an international reference.
JCI accreditation is awarded to healthcare institutions that meet or exceed a rigorous standard across all areas of operation, from patient care and safety to facility protocols and leadership practices. Assistant Vice President of Quality, Safety, Legal, and Risk, Kim Dasha Sherman, explains.
Underwent a 4-day examination process where 3 very well-versed experts in the healthcare field were able to come to our facility and look at our processes, speak to our associates, interview our patients to confirm and affirm that we are meeting the standards that they set out. This was a long and very, very tedious process, but kudos to all team members who really stood up and stood out and demonstrated how we are delivering excellent care every day.
Charles Fisher ends our newscast once again with another story from his recent trip to the Big Yard. Tonight's focus, bridge construction in Low Sound Andros by 4 Boys Construction.
Residents traversing through Low Sound Andros has seen this detour sign for quite some time now, as their bridge has become somewhat of an eyesore waiting to be repaired.
Initially, the bridge supposed to be just a flat bridge, but they changed the design on the bridge, lifted up a little higher. So we had to change the drawing and everything, so that take a little time. So now everything's going to be for the end of this month for us to start back on it, and December we'll be finished.
That's McCraig Russell of 4 Boys Construction explaining the main reason for the adjustments to the original plan.
That's why we rise it up higher, because in the area now, I don't know if you know, with the climate change and everything now, the tide rise more now. So when they first did the contract, we did an assessment on it with the previous tide, and it rise up almost to the original dock now. So what we did with the ministry, and the engineer Lambert Knowles, they do a new drawing on it and do so they could rise it up higher for better for the community. In case of hurricane or anything, we'll be able to pass freely with no problem.
Now, despite the diversion, he's asking for patience from residents.
We have the bypass road accessible for the people, and I guess everything will be good until the end of the month. We'll start back in full.
Yes, just be patient, residents. A better bridge is coming. For Access Now, I'm Charles Fisher.
Thanks, Charles. Amajal Knowles has a look at what's coming up in sports tonight. Amajal?
And the Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic underway. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exuma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is to do some work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass it along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
Welcome to the Thursday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. It's a local summer staple on the sports scene. It's now celebrating its 30th year of existence. The Michael Scooter Reed Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic well underway over at the Hope Center as 42 teams battle it out across the 6 divisions in hopes of locking up their spot in this weekend's championship games.
So things have been great during the past 2 days. This is day 3. We have seen a lot of people come out. Groups like IBA, Lucayans, Reach Out is coming in today. Groups like them, they feed into our tournament and they develop, so we doing it big down here.
And of course, the heavily anticipated family night is still slated for this weekend at the Kendall G. Lysick Gymnasium.
We have things like the slam dunk competition. We have things like the three-point shootout where they're not just showing their talent, but they're getting paid to show their talent. And then the pastors versus politicians game, people think that's been going on for 30 years, but it has not. It's been going on for a total of about 10 years now, and we see the growth inside that. We see the expectations of the Bahamian people for that game.
So hoops, the nightlife basketball tournament in full swing as well over at the Donald Davis Gymnasium. Entering their 3rd week of play, the Hardwood Moonshine Liquors taking on Below Zero to the tape. Moonshines Roosevelt Wiley from behind the arc with the triple, but not so fast. Below Zero answering with a tray ball of their own. Moonshine looking to close things out in the 4th. Abel Joseph with the tough finish here. They would escape with the 72-66 win. In track news, roughly less than a month away from the B3A Senior Nationals and 2 months away from the World Championship set to take place in Tokyo, Japan, much is being made of who will represent the 242 at those championships, with only a handful of outright qualifiers at this point in the year. San Antonio sports team recently caught up with B3A's president, Tramiko Archer, who hopes to quell those concerns.
You know, we're going through a rebuilding exercise. We've discovered some amazing talent. Wanye McCoy has proven to be one of the formidable sprinters that we have continued to nurture together with Terrence Jones. I just think that right now we've seen some really exceptional performances. K1 Kalma, while not already achieving the world championship standard, he's jumped a personal best of 17 meters. I think that's a wonderful story to tell. And so we can expect the Bahamas to do very, very well in the upcoming world championships. And I'm looking at a new chapter to be turned, and we'll be reading a new story.
And over at MacFit 360 West, the Bryce Newell Safe Summer Swim Camp taking place. A clinic designed to teach the participants to swim along with introducing them to water safety. We spoke with a few of the organizers as well as camp goers.
Basically, we're really happy to partner with Ashore Win on this initiative, Bryce Newell Foundation with MacFit 360. So we were thinking at the end of the summer camp, based on the performance and attendance of 2 kids in particular, as well as comparing their academic accomplishments, we're going to select them to actually present them with a scholarship to be able to swim all year round.
Bryce Newell Foundation is really the supporting, financing arm of this, and it was pretty much a brainchild of our CEO, Mr. Bryce and Mr. Newell, and we, of course, reached out to Backfit, and we knew that they offered a summer swim camp every year, and we asked, hey, can we expand the experience that you guys have, because you guys have the expertise in putting on a summer swim camp.
The favorite part of camp is swimming and learning how to dive inside the water. So far, so good.
Have you made any new friends here?
Yes, I made plenty new friends.
The best advice I got was to always be patient, because the coaches have to work with other students too.
And that's my look at your sports on this Thursday. Until tomorrow, I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out.
Did you know you could send a local bank transfer to a Sand Dollar wallet? It's the same as sending a transfer to an account at another local bank. Simply use the wallet's 12-digit top-up address as the account number, savings as the account type, Central Bank of the Bahamas as the bank, and Sand Dollar as the branch with branch code or transit number 12,000. Don't use urgent or priority delivery. Transfers to Sand Dollar wallets are processed through the Bahamas Automated Clearinghouse Network within 1 business day.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
Join us on Social Media, a new and dynamic game show based on the Ministry of Education's primary and junior high school social studies curriculum. Students from schools across the Bahamas go head-to-head as their knowledge of social studies is challenged. In this episode, Yellow Elder Primary battles with Sandilands Primary School. Which school will emerge as winner? To find out, join us as these two schools engage in intense competition. Don't miss it.
It's time now for a weather check with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Royston. We're going to get you started with our temperatures around the Family Islands. March Harbor, Abaco, 82 degrees. Grand Turkey at 85. 85 degrees also in Freeport, Grand Bahama. The Berry Islands at 84. 81 in Alistown, Bimini, Harbor Island, 84 as well. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 82 degrees. Also Otterstown, Cat Island at 82. Black Point, Exuma, Kemp Space, South Andros, and Fresh Creek, Central Andros, all at 83 degrees. 83s again in Georgetown, Exuma. We have 82 in Arum Key and in San Salvador. Ragged Island, and then Crooked Island, they reported 83 degrees. Another 83 in Clarence, Long Island, and Ragged Island. Ackland's 82 degrees. Matchy, Taninago, 85, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 84 degrees. Our satellite pictures are showing some clouds moving into the southeast Bahamas, including the Turks and Caicos Islands. That's associated with an upper level trough which is moving towards the west, so that would generate pockets of showers and thunderstorms tonight through tomorrow morning, gradually spreading into the central parts of the country tomorrow. And over the northwestern islands, we still have that trough in there, which is also creating pockets of showers and thunderstorms, most of which is taking place to the west of Andros and the Grand Bahama area. That, too, is sliding towards the west, so we'll see some gradual improvement over the northwest Bahamas over the next 24 to 36 hours. And our forecast tonight, we're looking at clear to partly cloudy, breezy, and very warm. Low temperature, 83 degrees tonight. And tomorrow, we are looking at rather cloudy conditions, a bit on the breezy side, with a high temperature climbing up to 88 degrees. And your extended weather forecast, things improving over the weekend until we get into Sunday. We'll have some showers developing during the morning hours on Sunday. And by Monday, we will have gray skies once again, with morning thunderstorms working its way back into our forecast, lingering over into Tuesday. And then things start to improve as we get into the middle part of the week. Royston.
Well, the weather is shaping up quite nicely, at least for the weekend. Well, that's going to do it for the Bahamas tonight at 11. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. Thank you for watching, and good night.
At the
Sidney Poitier Bridge. I'm Kaylin Green. This is ZNS.